Alright, Insomnia's done for the evening.
Look at it!
Just watching otters.
Do I need to share the picture of you and that goose?
No, I shared the picture of me with
you
that
did.
goose. I think I put it in the selfie channel. Alright. Hello, and welcome to the Ilderon Tales. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons tonight. We're back. And by back, I mean we never left because we played last week too. And then we played this week, then we're play next week. And there's heart-stopping, throbbing thriller action all the time. Anyways, this is Umoja Echoes, Saga 1, Episode 3 of their campaign. We do not have a full party tonight. I will be controlling Ivana, as we'll be missing Misty for the evening, so let me set her card aside. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Everything you're going to see is going to be live storytelling, and if you are under the age of 14 and you're watching this, stop, because you're going to see content that's inappropriate for you. I like to give a little tidbit about the world, and these are never rehearsed. So I think I like talking about the gods because I think faith defines Ilderon. One of the things that is very interesting about Ilderon as a setting, there are these ascended gods that are mortals who, in great times of strife and near extinction level moments for humanity, they have died, and when they were killed on the battlefield, they got back up, and they've essentially reincarnated on the spot with godlike powers, and they are all still around till this day. It is a interesting phenomenon that happens in the world that only ever happens to Ardorian people born in Arder Serai. It's never happened anywhere else. And I always think that that's a good reason to start campaigns and storylines in Arder, of getting understanding of the setting and the rest of the world, because Arder is weird, but it's weird enough to kind of let you know what everything else is going on. We'll do a recap. So last session started on the evening of the 4th of Father. It feels weird not to say servant. All the other campaigns are in a different year in servant. It is 10:13 AE, the 4th of Father, in the evening. The party, or the last session started off in the at the party of the sage of Arder Serai. He had just learned that there was a god in attendance to his party. With the guiding star appearing that night, it was a lot. It was a big gamble to have the party go on, and he dismissed everyone and had his guards and the protection of the party see to it that everybody got out of the estate safely. With that, he saw to Ivana, who had gone mad at the overwhelming sensation of being in the presence of a god and opening up her divine sense to it. He gave Ivana a room to stay in his estates, and the party went with her, and Lilfir also helped her up to the room. Are there people talking? Okay, I hear a voice in the back of my head. I guess it's just telling me to do crimes. It's Pride Month.
It's fine, you can get away with it.
Right. So yeah, Ivana was led to a room. The party followed. There, and the sage is also a political figure in Arder Serai, or at least associated with the government. There are other lesser diplomats that are not stationed, that have rooms here. There, the party met Sable Calgarin, who came over, and Alshin informed them that they were a divine caster and able to help tend to Ivana, where his attention was called to elsewhere. As the party was talking, a lot of stuff happened, and I don't want to read Insomnia's thing word for word, but I'm going to get a lot of this order wrong because I'm just shooting. Well, a little bit more happened than that. The party got... Oh, I'm remembering things as they're happening. So before Anthem could go up there with the party, Draylin Madison pulled Anthem aside and told Anthem that even though there's animosity between the party and Draylin, Draylin properly pointed the party at the sage of just saying, hey, I'm not a problem right now, he's a problem, and we can work together. Draylin informed Anthem of an item he wanted. The sage has been making political visits down to Somar Villa to work with Lethalia Nakart, one of Draylin Madison's political rivals. And Draylin wants any evidence of what they've been doing. He is going to pay 800 gold to Anthem for the most recent journal that the sage has been keeping on his visits and activities throughout the city. Anthem agreed to help him out and walked off to meet with the party. As the party was settling down, Lilfir was leaving and gave the party a ominous warning about Draylin, that she is potentially here watching him, and Draylin is a dangerous man. After a little bit more conversation, the party was able to realize that Lilfir is a spy. She is working for an organization that identifies themselves with the Silver Sigil, and she has told Anthem, and Amaru has overheard. If you come, they're trying to figure out what's going on in this country as forces are colliding. If you come across any interesting information of dangers to be aware of, find somebody with a tattoo like hers and divulge what you know. There, Lilfir left and went back to tend to Draylin, and Billy also left to find Linux because the party wanted to know what Kylissa, what was the deal with that note Kylissa passed that had the assassination list on it. From there, I think the party just investigated around, just trying to figure out if the doppelganger was still on the premises, who it could have been, who they were targeting, watching different targets. And by the time the party found the doppelganger... Oh, before you found the doppelganger, you heard Alshin Doris and Rani Iravi arguing. Alshin has been working with foreign forces that he has stopped working with, and Rani believes that the things that are happening are a result of Alshin's actions. The party then left to go search the manor, instead finding the assassin outside of Alshin's office. She summoned a demonic creature from the bridge to protect her and the door, and proceeded into the room to either murder or question mark Alshin. By the time the party got past the demonic hound, they walked into the room to see a doppelganger assassin moving shadows like water, and a restrained sage thrown out the window, and Kadam leaped out the window with him, still both perfectly alive, and riding her shadows off into the night. Unfortunately, the party wasn't able to catch up with her, and she escaped. The sage with her kidnapped, question mark dead, question mark alive. We will figure that out. The party has came back to Alshindoris's manor and to investigate the scene of the crime. Investigating the scene of the crime, there was the heiress of the Soulheart family that was that had her guards around the office. She was the only one in the office, and she was reading Alshindoris's journal when you all walked in. She relinquished the crime scene to Ivana, who is a member of the Unrepentant and a member of the same religious order. And then I think that's where we left off with the party looking at and reading the journal. So I did post these in your group, so we wouldn't have to spend all of the session just reading them. But I am going to do a little bit of talking at the start here. Let me make sure everybody can see these. All players, awesome. Okay, so let's pick up right there. We are in, it is the late evening of the 4th of Father. We are in the nation of Ardor Sarai in the capital city of Ardor. And courtesy of Insomni, we have a inspiration page this week for the manor. We are in the manor of Alshindoris. As you open the journal is open, and you flip through the pages, and each person is looking over whoever's shoulder is here at the front of the desk, reading this. The first page is a lengthy apology, and I don't want this. I want mysterious music. Give me this. Yes. As you open the journal and you're reading through it, the first page is a lengthy apology. Alshin essentially explains that he has been working in the shadows and in secrecy, which unfortunately is goes against some of the tenets of his religion to record and share your stories and share your songs with everyone. Moving on from there, the rest of the book has 5 different events listed in it of actions Alshin took, each one more heinous than the last, or questionably more heinous than the last. Some of them at the next to each page detailing them have a mark of atonement on them, that they are atoned or they are unatoned. And I think we'll pick up right there. If anybody wants to read any of these specific ones or ask me any questions, let me know. Otherwise, the whole party is together. Well, minus Billy. I will add Billy into the scene in a minute. What do you all want to do?
Should we do?
If you want some advice from the Dungeon Master, I am happy to give it too.
That might be pretty useful.
Okay. So say that again? Yeah, Amaru just unmuted. If she was saying something, probably. We couldn't hear you, but now we can. And Billy's not there, so. Okay, advice from the Dungeon Master. How about for Sable, you give me 2 history checks.
Okay.
You're gonna get advice regardless, just based. Oh, good gosh! If only you had advantage on that last one. That's still a great roll, though.
That's great.
So the first one is the role of the sage in Ardor Serai. The sage is like a county clerk. It's like almost an elected position, except it's appointed by each of the 4 chantries. So 4 different prominent people have to approve this man, and then he acts on behalf of all of the temples for the good of the city, and trains all the different sages that go around the country and other things. That said, it is a bit of a political position, and he is responsible and beholden to a lot of different forces in the country. So without the sage, things are going to be a little bit wonky. Finding him is one thing on your priority list of just like stabilizing the city, but on the other side of that priority list is this journal. This journal is damning, beyond belief, that any faith in this man is going to be lost. If this gets out, if you decide to share it, whatever you decide to do with that. So that's the 12. On the 21, I think what I will say is if you want any information on any of these, I can give you more information. But essentially, Sable, if you want to figure out like a trail of what the sage was doing in town, or why, or like what's going on, essentially you have 5 leads. One of the Silver Sigil that you are aware of contacted him. Alshin was investigating a cult in town. Another one, Ardor Serai has just finally stabilized in the last 4 years, as basically a magnate would take the throne and then die in the next 2 or 3 months or the next year. Finally, the current magnate was able to hold the throne. Going and figuring out what all of those assassins are up to now, because there were a lot of assassins in this country. And then even last night you saw one. You could get more info on the community. The third lead you have is Lethalia Nakart in Somar Villa. She was working with Alshin, and Alshin was killing children that she was sending to him. She was hoping they'd be smuggled out of the country. He was taking the money and unfortunately not doing what he had agreed to. This one was kind of settled when you went into town. The 4th one, a church was burned down. It was believed that the Chantry of Discipline did it. Fortunately, a lot of ethics counselors came together and convinced them, or essentially acted as defense attorneys for them, and got the Chantry of Discipline cleared of all harm. A lot of this one's kind of caused a whole upheaval in the country, but the problem was solved. Now it turns out that the problem wasn't solved. It was Alshin who did it. You could go talk to any of those people who were affected either by reputation or by stance. And then I think the last one condemned an innocent man to death, Leroy Malik. I would say that's probably the one you have the least info on. But I am going to throw info at Amaru for that one, because Amaru is a smith. Leroy Malik wrote the book on some new arcane forging practices that may have interested Amaru when she was at the university.
I mean, Sable would definitely take the most interest in the third one, the one regarding the tiara,
Okay.
and would just lose any interest in saving Alshin after reading that.
That's fair.
In
So,
regards to being a county clerk, would that also mean that he has access to both money and information? like ledgers, documents on that?
I would say the closest thing Arter has to that would be each family's like personal stewards or the sage. He would probably have some info on that. But it really depends on like what type of money and what type of transactions we're talking.
Yeah, but would he not have personal records of such transactions?
Yeah, give me some more info on what you're looking for, and maybe I can guide you with like an investigation check or something. What type of personal transactions are you trying to look into?
I meant by like more like personnel, like if he's in charge of being like some kind of mediator between transactions. If he like oversaw them, yeah.
No, that would not be
No?
his job.
Okay.
Each different faction in the city would have somebody for that. Like you would know your family, the Riddlepaws, have somebody that they trust to essentially be their like quartermaster or treasurer that handles and helps oversee those deals.
I guess I would be looking for anything that gives me a lead on any one of the 5.
Okay.
Yikes.
And you're looking through his personal files?
Yeah, anything.
Okay. Does anyone want to do anything else while Anthem tears apart this office?
No.
Okay. So Ivana is going to start talking to you all. By the time she finishes reading this journal, and each action growing worse than the last, she's going to shake her head and say, "He was a member of the Chantry. The Chantries are appointed sage, and he did all of this. I have to tell the Ocular of my Chantry. I'll be back in the morning."
Okay.
Do we want this information spread though?
That's a good point. I don't think we should.
Every single person that is told this becomes both a liability and the chance of this information getting out into a wildfire.
Exactly. We have to keep control of this situation.
While you guys are saying that, Chloe, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Billy, you have found Linux, and caught him before he was leaving. As you did, just this wild explosion of movement and haste all over the manor. The sage has been thrown out the window, assassins.
Oh shit.
With shadows into the night, people running every which way in the manor. Asking around and asking questions, you've been pointed back towards where it happened. Your party can wait. Linux has been following you through all of this a little bit, just as much kind of blindsided. You make your way up the tower to the sage's personal study. And
I would also say Lennox was looking after my Steel Defender, so I now have a little penguin robot in tow with me. Because
okay.
after hearing that, I was like, "Oh shit, something is going on."
You're able to enter the Sage's Tower. Ivana is walking out the door. She's going to look at you, look at Linux, and say, "Oh, thank Umoja that you're here, Linux. It's going to be bad. I'm going to talk to my chantry, but you'll be needed."
What happened?
One of the guards are going to, or actually, not one of the guards. The heiress who is locking down this area is going to approach you and speak as soon as I can find her portrait to share. I'm a smart Emmy. I am not. Oh well. Oh, this is gonna drive me nuts. Oh, there it is. Sorry. The heir is going to walk up to you and say, the sage has been kidnapped, but he has a. She bites her lip. Lennox is gonna say, "Out with it! Come on." She's going to nod and say, "He has a list of all the things he's done: murder, assassinations,
Jesus.
blackmail."
Wait, what's this world's version of Jesus?
Kiris.
Kyrus, I say Kyrus.
And she's gonna say, "I hope the Stormfather's out there watching us."
Yeah.
Ivana is going to shake her head and say, "I'm going to go get more help, but Lennox, I trust you in there." He's going to nod and say, "Very well, let's see what's going on." And he's
I think Amaru is going to sort of get in Ivana's way as they're trying to leave, and
Oh, you don't let her leave?
I'm not letting them leave.
Okay. Oh, gosh, I wish Misty had told me more about how to control her character. I just assumed she was walking off today. So, what... Are you going to say anything, or are you just going to get in her way?
Ivana, everything in this room is on a need-to-know basis, and your chantry does not need to know this right now. The only people that need to know anything about what is in that journal are the people in this room right now.
Does Ivana's chantry emphasize the truth like Alshandoris does?
Her chantry is the chantry of unity. Her chantry is... You know what? Give me a history roll. You think I'm just gonna give you free information about stuff of a religion that Anthem doesn't even worship?
Nope, she really doesn't like the religion apparently.
Water God. I don't know. The Water God's nice about stuff.
Water God, unity, unity question mark.
Linux is going to say, Ivana, just give us a chance to learn what's going on, and then we can plan our next move. She'll give you Linux will give you the help action. Roll me a persuasion check with advantage. I'm just going to control Ivana as an NPC this session, and unfortunately, I will try and inform Misty.
Oh my gosh, if my sheet ever loads, that would be amazing.
Would you like me to roll it for you?
Oh, I've got it.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Too far down the sheet. Oh,
A persuasion check
Persuasion.
with advantage. Ivana, she is gonna look a little unconvinced, like biting her nails. If anybody wants to make any other arguments at her, you're welcome to. But she's going to go on to state that this man was representing our faith to the commoners, and he did all of this. The Oculars need to know the person they appointed, what he was capable of.
They need to know, yes, but the when of when they need to know is also critically important. If we tell them now, what do you think will happen to all 5 of our leads? They're going to disappear. Because someone will panic, someone will tell.
Ivana's gonna nod, thinking on this, and say, I have to pray. I'm gonna take a night, and we can revisit this decision tomorrow. She'll step aside Amaru and say, I'm going to my quarters. If nobody stops her, Ivana's gonna leave. Everybody give me a free intelligence check. DC 8.
Including Billy?
Yeah, sure. Oh, 2 people have gotten it.
Let's see. Just a straight intelligence?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll let you add your proficiency bonus if you're trained in insight.
I am.
Go
whoops.
for it.
Okay.
Oh, the nat ones that are coming in.
Wow.
Okay.
That is.
Thank goodness that everybody got Ivana to stand down. You have the opportunity to contain this situation. Everybody in this room's the only ones who know anything that's in that journal, and that little girl with the sword outside is what Phoenix, or Anthem, and Sable know. You guys don't know much about Jessica, but she's the only other person with this info that you all have.
Who is this?
Jessica is the current heir to the Soulheart family. Her noble family's job is to protect members of the Chantries. She's been organizing security here tonight.
I hope we don't need to tell the person who is an expert in security to secure the information.
A literal child.
For that check for both Anthem and Sable, the Soulheart's family's responsibility is essentially to the Chantry. They're all fire spawn, and they are less of they're kind of like second-class citizens. They are basically servants directly to the Chantry. There's no nicer way to put it.
What's the likelihood that she tells?
I think that's what I was giving you that check for. You guys don't know. Your information's contained. That's your one loose end.
By the way, we should really up security. She could come back.
You tell Jessica that?
I just say it out loud, generally.
Linux is going to be the first to speak up and say, so is there an account of what he did? Linux has yet to see the journal.
Should we show it?
My profession, my responsibility is taking care of the Solsarai and the officials of this nation. As an ethics counselor, my job is to ensure that when they behave in ways that are out of the standards of what's expected of those entrusted with power, that I help remind them and get them back on a proper path.
This one was already way off that path.
The man is kidnapped. Who are you going to tell? Like, are you going to tell a dead man ethics?
Linux is going to shake his head and say, no, my role is more of a public defender of sorts. If there's information that could cause distress, I'm here to help manage how that information is, how that information's perceived.
You filter it, make it look pretty.
He's going to nod and say, I work, the tolls are my main client. No doubt you've heard of Manning.
That figures.
All right.
Have you heard of Manning?
Yes, you have. I won't even make you roll for that. If you want additional information, you can roll a history check. But otherwise, he is the head of the 5th largest noble family in the country. Manning Tolls is head of the Tolls family. The Tolls themselves are much believed to be like a Ardorian mafia. They operate in gray areas around and outside of the law. Some gray, some not so gray. Generally, the tolls are open their services for everyone and don't discriminate upon who they enact their services on. Blackmail, robbery, all things.
So much fun stuff.
Tolls. Yeah. You will remember you were blackmailed. Or you weren't blackmailed, you were extorted by the tolls. They used you
Yeah,
as
I
a
was.
delivery woman for at the start of the campaign.
Billy didn't want anything to do with it, but she kind of was the reason.
Yeah.
That's definitely over, right?
Billy shrugs.
So do you all want to share the information with Linux, or do you just want to stop as many eyes as possible from seeing this?
We really should keep
I
it.
think we can trust Lennox.
Uh,
Um,
Billy would, at least. Billy's trusted Lennox with everything.
okay, maybe we should show it. You
Okay.
can't make this look pretty.
Yeah.
Linux is going to read and read and read. Go to the desk, hand on his forehead. As he keeps reading, eyes go wide. He finally gets to the last page that Alshin had an entry on. And Linux is going to be quiet for a long moment before he speaks up. For Linux, he's going to say the first step in any of this is the first step in any path to redemption or any sort of healing is to at least right the wrongs that have been inflicted. Assassins came for Alshin tonight, and he used them as a weapon during the magnate's appointment. He points to the second journal entry. I think if we question or find any of them, it can help give us some information as to who came after Alshin, potentially where he was, and even if we don't want to rescue him, he can answer for these crimes to the people.
As soon as people hear about this, our leads are gone.
Well, we
We
stay
have to keep
quiet
this.
until we find him.
Exactly. The people should hear about this, just not yet.
how do we make sure that this is kept under wraps?
Linux is going to stand up, becoming shorter as he is a halfling, and he's going to walk around the desk and say, well, you can count on my discretion. Ivana is an unrepentant. She knows how to handle an investigation, dealing with shadowy forces. He looks outside to Jessica, who is standing in the doorway, and he's going to say, the Soul Hearts don't speak or share info unless asked.
Unless asked by who?
A superior commands them to speak.
Is that really a safe method?
He will think for a moment and say, I'll see if I can get the young heiress relieved of her duties. I think for now we'll keep everyone in the estate, keep the servants working here, and keep everybody keep an eye on as many people as we can who know what has happened.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when this gets out. Because it will.
As you all are talking, hold on, I'm sorry.
We have a dog.
Cute dog! I'm sorry, there's a knock on the door. There's my dog. As you're talking, Jessica is going to speak up and say, I can provide security here for a few more days further. My family's too busy sending people after Lumigrax to really care about what I get up to. As long as I have 5 of my own blades here with me, I'll be fine.
Is a few days even enough for us to figure all this out before all the leads are gone?
I don't think there's anyone in this room that has that answer, Linux is gonna say. But for now, a few days is what we need.
What if we told a lie? Told a different story first. Just in case things did get out.
As you say that, Linux is going to think, Linux is going to stop and think and say that could be a band-aid currently. Jessica's face is going to sour, but she turns around and continues to guard the door.
Can I insight her?
Go for it.
Today is my shit rolls day.
Well, she rolled a nat 1, so you are
Oh!
fine. She did her best to conceal her expression and kind of look non-biased at this, but it was just painted all across her face as she tried to hide how she felt. Jessica is, she doesn't agree with this, and I'll give you additional info into I'll give you an additional info for beating her check. You don't think she's very good at this being a silent guard type thing.
He's going to talk.
None of the other soul hearts, the fire spawn guards that have been wandering around, have said or remarked at anything. She's already spoken multiple times, giving her opinion without prompting. Linux is gonna speak up and say, well, everybody saw the sage get kidnapped. So for now, I think we can say that the sage was trying to prevent some dire situations from happening in Ardersarai, and other forces had other interests, and we're currently working on getting him back.
The thing is, with vagueness, people will be having more questions than answers. If we name names, even wrong ones, then there will be less suspicion and questions.
Lennox is gonna say, framing someone? He shakes his head. We get too close to the Alshin's own actions that condemned him. Careful about the road you walk on. As the night grows silent, Lennox is going to say, let's get some rest. I think Ivana had the best idea and convene on this subject in the morning.
Last thing. They were a face changer, meaning we can't trust each other that well. Because they could be anyone. I feel we should establish a code word or just a sign of the person being the person.
Lennox will speak up and say, if asked what your favorite treat is, Lopkin stew, an Ardorian specialty.
Sounds good.
It's downright disgusting.
I know. It's terrible.
Lennox is going to look at the journal on the desk and say, so what do we do with this?
Would you mind if I took it?
Lennox is going to look at everyone else in the room and say, you're partners with that Rinnelpaw. I trust the Rinnelpaws more than most other nobles in this country. Is everyone else okay with this?
This should be fine.
Yep.
Lennox will hand Anthem the journal. He's going to say, I'm staying in Somia, in the south. I'm gonna make my way to my inn for the evening. I'll see you all tomorrow. He begins leaving the office. Billy, a word?
Yeah. What's up?
You came searching for me about something Kylissa was up to. Is this another headache that I need to be prepared for?
Sorry, this is Lennox speaking.
Yes.
Okay.
I will share his non-existent picture. I'll get more information on his sheet in the future.
Yeah, I think Poppy has a drawing done of Lennox. I certainly hope not. In response to if it's a headache.
Okay. He'll nod. and say, I've seen that red-headed one that you had all the adoration for. She was walking around the party this evening. Are you okay?
I think I will be. I think I need to clear my head a bit. Thanks for asking. I give Lennox a hug.
Lennox is going to nod and say, well, she's in town. I heard she's staying over in Maiden's Watch. Or no, not Maiden's Watch. In the city proper. By the Maiden's Watch Bridge. And at the Magnate's Falcon. If you want resolution, let me know and we can go by. Otherwise, I'd just avoid the neighborhood.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Lennox.
He's going to pat your leg and turn and walk towards the stairs.
I forgot Lennox is so short that does just make sense. I was like, wait, that's a weird.
Just, Lennox leaps into the air, backflips over you, pats your shoulder. Says good evening. All right.
As you do.
Jessica and two of her guards are guarding the entrance to the office. When you all descend, they will likely descend and take up patrols around your room. Does anyone want to do anything else up here before the end of the night?
No.
Yes. Could I take? Is her name Glyca? Decide before she leaves.
Jessica? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
Well, again.
You can pull her into the office if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that.
She steps in. The scowl on her face lightens slightly. Very slightly. Her hands are behind her back in a military posture as she waits for you to address her.
Does she seem like someone who has a very high sense of honor?
I'm sorry to make you roll so much, but I don't think that's something you can tell right off the top. You can insight check her if you want.
Okay. All good. I built Anthem for rolls.
Yeah, as you inspect Jessica, you notice she's standing in this almost at attention posture. There are parts of her body that start to relax that she activates again. The best you get is that she's doing as she was trained, rather than what would be her personality, and trying to see anything under like that training is difficult. So soul hearts are honorable, presuming that her training is more important to her than whatever preteen stuff she's got going on.
Is she practical?
Is she
seem
practical? I don't think you can tell
Okay.
that at a glance. She stands there quietly, staring you in your eyes. If you guys stare at each other for 10 more seconds, I'm gonna make you roll a charisma save to keep it together.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm not gonna. Okay. I already saw that you did not like my pitch for lying or framing. But the thing is here, we need time. Afterwards, we can tell them exactly what they need to hear. But right now, we cannot have opinions or judgment cloud the fact that if anything gets out of that room, people will die. People will get harmed. Because the contents of that book can and most likely will upend the political structure. So I request for you to please at least give us enough time, even if your superiors request for it, to give them information that they need at that moment. And only that. Because if anything else gets out, things are going to be set on fire.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Dirty 20.
As you say that to Jessica, she's going to nod and say, "May I ask a question?"
Yes.
You spoke to Lord Madison tonight, privately. About what?
If you have enough discretion to withhold this information, do you promise on your honor that you will also withhold this?
Jessica is going to exhale for a moment and say, "Can I speak freely?"
Yes. I want everything out on the table, and I will also give you my thoughts too.
The Chantry teaches to be open and honest with your dealings, to record and sing of your songs and your deeds. The first, are walking into any Ardorian shop, library, or inn or tavern, the first thing you see is a shelf of books, of journals people have left of their own stories, their own adventures and lessons learned across Ilderon. Why would anyone bother saving anyone if they could just lie about it? What meaning would those stories have if they were just fabrications? It doesn't sit well with me, or at least with what I was taught. I can put aside my own teachings on the matter, but my personal issues, I don't like that man. He has no reflection. I've seen it before. I need to know what your dealings were with him before I can give you an answer that I feel confident in.
Of course. But first, on your principle of lies and tales, is that not what legends are made out of? Because after a few generations, what is the truth, really? But stories that have been blown up. But that's what the people want to hear, isn't it? Heroes. As for my...
She's gonna say, "I've met Ocular Ataclon. I believe Gale-Song's radiance and heroism was exactly as he taught of it.
But he's been gone for 700 years. That's more than enough for stories to change.
Roll me a persuasion check. One more.
Well-
Jessica's gonna think on this. For a moment. And say, I don't understand why people would change the stories. He saved the world.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad change for it to be change. As for my dealings with Drellin, he wants blackmail. And he wants me to get it.
Are you going to give it to him?
It depends on what that would trigger. I don't plan on giving it to him anytime soon. Because I want to see. Because he never told me what it would do. If he withholds, I will too.
Jessica is going to nod and say, I will be silent for the remainder of the week.
Thank you. And then Anthem would probably give a courteous nod and leave.
Alright, she is going to watch and protect the rest of the party. Amaru, Billy, Sable, what do you all want to do? Do you want to do anything else with this evening?
No, I think I'm ready to head to bed. That was a long day.
Me too.
Or evening.
That was only half a day right there. We like to call that.
That was a lot of socialization for Philly.
Yeah, we like to call that the Ilderon special. That's the number 2 on the menu. Okay. Yeah, you all have been you've all been given rooms here, but even if you haven't, there's a couple spare now that people can stay at. As you hinker down for the night, ever so often you hear the footsteps of one of the soul hearts moving through the halls of the people staying here. It's only one guard taking shifts. Them sleeping in between with you. Everybody is able to get the benefits of a long rest. And it is sunrise on the morning of the 5th of Father. From where you're at in Maiden's Watch, you are on the south side of the city. The sun rises in the northwest and goes southeast over the city, so it is just a shadowed, cold morning for you all.
How do we do the long rest thing? Is it just like a button or something?
Yeah, they did add a button on the sheet. I think it's above your features, but if you just restore all of your spell slots and your HP, you should be fine.
Okay.
Let's see. Anthem.
Weirdly, I don't think I used anything.
I have a lot of stuff going on.
Okay, I clicked the long rest on your sheet. It didn't do anything, but I'll just put your chronal shift at 2, and then you can restore all of your spell slots
Okay.
later. I'll get off your sheet. All right. It is the morning of the 5th. I hope everybody has had some time to think about what they want to do or how they feel about the events of last night. There is a bit of confusion in the estate. Many servants showing up for work this morning. Some moving about their duties as they are meant to. Others a little confused as they don't have a sage to wake up or dress. But they are all met in the dining hall. For those of you still in your room, you can hear their voices echoing out as someone is sorting through all of it.
So, which one do we look into then? Which one should we look into?
Is Sable going and talking to the rest of her party?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. That was the. Yeah.
Okay. You can wake people up one by one by one by one. The last person you wake is Amaru. You all can file into Amaru's room. And talk. Amaru, you have a horde of people watching you.
Guess that is the question of the day, Sable.
Is Amaru still in bed? Like, if we're all.
Just standing beside the bed, just looking down.
I'll let Sora answer that for us.
Just like groggily getting out of bed. Did not change. Did not have like spare clothes. Still doesn't have her coat.
Are we all just gonna watch in this room? Like,
You all can tell me what you're doing. Let me know if you want to go anywhere, if you want any description. I will tell you what happens as you tell me your actions.
I know I'm stunning, friends, but please don't watch me sleep.
Rise and shine.
I think Billy's gonna go over and start polishing her robot while everyone's waking up.
Okay.
What did I name him again? I think his name is Damascus.
Did Anthem have any plans to meet up with Avalon after?
Yeah, you both have been staying at a place in town. I am going to throw you at a place not terribly far from here. I'm not going to do that. You all have been staying at a place called the Tired Dagger. It is in the city proper, not terribly far from Maiden's Watch Bridge. You can actually head to one of the front-facing windows and see the neighborhood it's in from here. This terrace part of the city overlooks it.
Is it like a tavern or something?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
inn for travelers.
Any chance I could drag her along for the ride of
Yeah, you
figuring
can
things
go
out?
try and see her if you want. So that's Anthem's choice. She's going to find Avalon.
Yep.
Okay. I will move you aside. What about Billy, Sable, and Amaru?
I'm gonna go eat breakfast. What are you guys doing?
Okay. Billy's going to eat breakfast.
I'm hungry.
Me too.
Sable
I'm going to.
and Amaru. Okay. So
So necessity.
leaving Alshindoris's manor, it does require you to go through one of those grand entrance halls, which also doubles as the main dining room where breakfast and other things are served. So the kitchen staff, of course, has to come and cook breakfast for everyone else, and they have keys to the premises to get in and do their job early. The rest of the serving staff is showing up, and you see a group of probably about a baker's dozen of people in the front foyer, the entranceway here. The head stewardess of this estate is addressing the group of people as a soul heart guard is next to her. She's going to say, let me. There we go. We'll go with Listella Doris. She's going to speak up and say to all of them, and you all will overhear this. With the sage missing, it's unsure if the duties that he performs are going to continue. As such, the stipend from the 4 chantries is in question, and I don't know if I can afford to pay all of you currently until I have an answer on that. Somebody in the group is going to scream, "I don't even work here. My partner was here last night. I'm just..." And she's going to say, "A lot has happened. Please, if you can just go home for the day, we'll have more information come tomorrow." Anthem, in the crowd of people being turned away, you are going to see a angry looking Avalon staring down staring down the soul heart guard
She's pretty.
that is preventing her entry. She is going to raise a gauntleted hand and point at the guard. And I will give her one last perception check before walking away. She's going to point across the way past the guard and say, There, her! I'm looking for her! Can I talk to her?" Listella is going to turn and see Anthem still here. And she's gonna say, "Those are diplomats that stay here." She raises
I'm a
hand.
diplomat. I wasn't aware.
Well, you're with Sable, so.
Yeah, I know. Like, she says that out loud.
But Stella is going to walk over to the party and whisper to you, and say, doppelgangers taking on anyone's face. Last night they took the sage. I've just have about a dozen soul heart guards here, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to keep them for the week. You can stay as long as you want, but she gestures to the group and says, I can't guarantee your safety past here.
Nah, it's fine.
There's a very concerned Rental Paw looking for you. And she'll gesture Anthem towards Avalon. And everybody else, you are welcome to sit down in the dining hall, and the serving staff is still serving food.
Thank God I'm starving.
Oh yeah.
Anthem just grabs one thing and goes out the door.
Okay. As you approach, well, I'll come back to Anthem.
Yep.
Everybody else eating, is there anything you want to do or discuss?
So who do you guys think what was the deal with the guy with the no reflection? Is he a vampire?
Has to be, right? I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
guess so.
any other people that do that.
Honestly, I don't know a lot about vampires in general.
I don't think I've ever met one.
I don't know if I have either.
Could it be related to what we've seen?
Sorry, what was that?
Could it be related to what we've seen so far?
Yeah. Yeah, it could be.
I personally wanted to look into Lady Nakart. Do I know anything about her already?
You can roll me a history check if you so desire.
Okay.
I'll give you information regardless, and additional information in tiers of 5.
Oh.
It is hard to get any information on her. She is a very reclusive noble. The Nakarts are a upstart noble family in like the last 70-ish years, and she has emerged as the current head of the family. She barely ever leaves her estate. Not known if she is grieving the loss of her husband, who died a few years ago, or if she is paranoid or what. But you've never seen her. The people you talk to who know about her have only dealt with her in proxy. Through somebody else, a servant delivering a letter or something of those sorts.
Okay. I personally want to see her behind bars. I don't know how we go about that. Because it sounds like she's killed a lot of people.
No kidding. I don't know. I mean, how do we prove it? I've never dealt with anything like this before. My family usually deals with that sort of thing.
Well, the book is the proof. Should be. It
True.
details.
Yeah.
That's hopefully all the proof we need.
Yeah.
All we have to do is take this to someone, hopefully, and they can just arrest her.
But who can we trust?
Exactly. I don't know.
I wonder if... I don't know. I wonder if maybe my sister would know what to do here. But I guess we don't really want anybody to know.
Well, they won't have to know everything.
My family's just so much better at dealing with sort of thing than me.
I get that.
I prefer to stay out of politics usually.
Apparently,
And
my whole life
crime.
is politics.
Tell me about yourself. What brought you here?
I can't exactly remember what did bring me here again. I'm so sorry.
For Sable, you have left the Darken Vale and Yamayan, doing diplomatic work across the nation, trying to our world, trying to improve the Vale's standing with different people. The Empress is nearly universally despised outside of the Vale, which is the one haven for Terai, and people kind of cast out from the rest of the world.
Okay. Just here on Darken Vale business, it's... I don't know how political you want to get about it.
Well, I think it's whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
I'm generally just... I'm here to make connections, or it gets too bad a name. It gets a bad rep.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think I know a lot about Dark Vale.
It's... yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Oh, I was going to say, if you want, Billy can roll a history check for more info. Otherwise, on Sable, as for your passive perception, as you look, or as you think on making allies, and you look across the room, Anthem is talking to the heiress of one of the 5 biggest noble families in the country. If there was anyone to have as a friend, potentially a Founder first. And that 14 for Darken Vale info is the Darken Vale is a nation on the other side of the world. It is a nation of undead Terai, all people who have to eat souls to stay alive. They have essentially enacted, they have destroyed the magic of their land. The land cannot support life, and they consume that magic to sustain themselves so that they don't have to kill people. Generally, the Vale is the place where Terai can go where they don't feel hunger. But on the other hand, it is a refuge for soul-eating monstrosities, and the rest of the world does not like them.
Oh. So, I say this as Billy, so it sort of seems like the bad rap is a lot of being misunderstood, I guess, right?
100%. They don't have to be these killers, these monstrosities. So they don't have to be. And Dark Vale's where they can be safe themselves again.
That's kind of nice.
It is. It's not that bad a place either.
Yeah? Is it pretty there?
I mean, it's extremely dark all the time.
That's kinda nice, though.
You get used to it after a while. But,
I mean, nighttime is pretty.
well, it's night there pretty much all the time. So if you like that, you
Yeah,
should
that
visit.
sounds nice. Yeah, maybe you can show me around there sometime.
Once all this business is eventually over, then yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I wouldn't mind traveling a bit.
Do you guys want to do anything before I move to Anthem?
Nope.
Okay. Is Amaru just sitting and eating?
Shoving her face with too much food to speak.
Fair enough.
Billy had zero manners. Billy was eating with her mouth full.
Alexa, turn on Shadow Shield. Alright, for Anthem, as soon as you walk into the crowd of people, Avalon is going to step forward and embrace you. And she's going to say, I heard about the sage last night. Must have been a wild party.
Oh yeah, I was in the room when he was kidnapped. Anyways, can she get in?
You asked the stewardess that?
Yeah.
The stewardess is going to have a thin expression as she says, yes, Your Grace.
Please don't call me that. Titles. Yeah.
Avalon is going to walk in and say, you were in the room? It was an assassin. I heard it was an assassin. An elf?
Yes and no, it was a doppelganger. We jumped out the window and chased her across the city. We lost her though, so that was unfortunate. Yeah, the window's broken over there if you can see. She points to it.
The glass has been cleaned up outside. This happened in a further up tower, so it is hard to see right now.
Damn.
That said, she's gonna say, damn, I never faced down an Ardorian assassin. Not that I'd want to, but Dad makes enough deals to keep him off our back. My meeting was just boring last night.
Sometimes boring's good.
She's gonna nod and look at the rest of your party and say, who are the new friends?
They also got caught up in assassins, the party, the kidnapping. So yeah, we kind of got together and we're trying to solve it.
She's going to look you over for a moment and say, you look good. No scratches or anything like that.
Both of her eyebrows just shoot up. I'm just like, okay.
Mm-hmm. She's going to walk over to the party and say, I'm gonna thank them.
Alright.
Approaching your table, there is going to be a armored woman. She has a large smile on her face as she's addresses all of you and says, I was worried about my Nali last night, and I want to thank all of you for stepping in and looking out for her. The city's abuzz with what happened here, and I was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Who
Oh,
was the tricky knight?
Avalon Renalpaw. She offers her name forward to the table.
Oh, Sable Calcoin. I try to shake her hand.
I think that's the first time you said your last name out loud around people. Yeah. She goes to shake your hand and recoils.
Oh,
And she's gonna say, I'm so sorry. Is it true? Do you all have demons inside of you?
No, we don't say
doesn't-
that. We don't
Um,
say that here. No.
She
That seems kind of
grabs
rude.
Your hand and shakes it enthusiastically. So, she's gonna say, my mind was elsewhere.
It's a complete myth. It's
Give me a
People from-
deception check.
oh god.
Oh no!
Shit! Oh, that's bad.
I mean,
That's real bad.
if it could survive 100 generations, what are the chances you got scared?
Well, I've never experienced any kind of demons. Definitely.
She's gonna nod and say, well, if you can't get any help here in the city from the Chantries, my family pays roaming orders of the Sunyeth to come through town. I can try and get you a cleric of the wills, just if you ever want it checked on.
I don't need help. Thank you.
She's gonna nod and say, sorry again.
Anthem's just face palming in either side.
Immediately kind of just doesn't like this person that much anymore.
No, she
I don't
she
blame
went
them.
to shake your hand until she heard Calgaren and was like, but yeah,
Oh.
that's
She's very rude.
completely fair.
Anthem's.
I go after her and I say, is this how you greet everyone you speak to? You immediately judge them?
She's going to shake her head and say, no, I'm so sorry again. I'm still getting used to being the heir. This was my sister's job.
Well, suppose I can understand that.
This is why I talked for her most times.
And who are you?
Me?
Uh-huh.
You can just call me Billy.
She's gonna say, well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Oh, and this is my friend Damascus. I hold up my little penguin.
Avalon is gonna get a free intelligence check. And she is going to whisper towards Anthem. And it is not that great of a whisper. She's gonna say, Anthem, there's a Billy in the line of the Toll's heiresses who has a penguin, is it? Is it?
Yes,
she
yes it
points.
is. Yes.
Avalon's going
Like
to
she-
Super subtle.
Right.
Billy is just actively ignoring it. Billy hears it, and she's just ignoring it and playing with Damascus.
Avalon, this is why I did not. Okay. Yeah, this is just Anthem constantly face palming both internally and slightly externally.
No, my dad says they're great tolls. I haven't met enough of them, so I'm excited to meet another.
Good meeting you too. Uh, Damascus gives a little like penguin thumbs up.
um, Avalon is going to smash her, or rather just push her fist into her palm and say, my sister's in town handling all of our family matters, so I'm free for the day. We going after the sage or what?
Sure.
We're doing some investigating first before we go to the punches.
Yeah, that's what you do.
And I'm suggesting that you also do it this time because lives are on the line and not to bring your great sword out immediately.
Avalon is going to deflate a little and say, you're asking me to go talk to people.
I can do that for you.
I suppose my sister's wife would know what's going on. Damn woman seems to know everything. I can go ask her on our behalf if you want to look somewhere else.
I would heavily suggest discretion and deflecting on the reason why you want the information. If you are to do that.
Sage's enemies, what was the sage into, who would send assassins. Easy enough. Investigating's
also, more to that, really. Could I ever have access to any of the Renopal's ledgers regarding Drellin? Any of his transactions? Because I know there is,
You're gonna have to give me a last name.
One second.
I won't make you roll.
Drellin Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna say, oh, the Madisons. Yeah, they log on a portion of the Alien Woods that extends into Ardor Sarai. From what I know, Dad doesn't tax them too heavy, and they keep to their own out there.
Could you get me some of their financial ledgers, transactions, dealings, political standing, rivals, that stuff?
She's gonna say, yeah, I believe they caravan to and from Gwir and ship out of Gwir as their main port across the world. I'll see what I can do.
By any chance, would there be any competition between him and the Nakarts? Financially, like, say they're competitors in whatever they sell.
She's going to shake her head and say, no, the Nakarts, they make all of their money off the cities here in Erothia. But it's more than just one family for the Nakarts. They're less of a family and more of an alliance. Over 100 different families, over 100 different mercantile markets that they're into.
I'll talk to you later.
She's gonna nod and say, alright, Sage's enemies, Sage's business, who to send assassins, the Madison's financial records, and any dealings he's had with the Nakarts. Got it. She is going to turn away, counting on her fingers those 5 things.
Yep.
You know what? Emmy is gonna write down those 5 things so I don't forget. Wait,
You forget, she just forgot.
she stops and turns around. Amaru never introduced herself. Who are you? Shu looks at Amaru.
Amaru, like, very desperately tries to pretend that she didn't, like, spit her drink everywhere after her comment about Sable. Amaru Willarina from out of country. Pleased to meet you.
She's going to nod, shaking a hand, and say, are you trying to divine on the sage? She's going to gesture to Amaru's skin and says, "You're shifted. Yeah, that's from big magic, right?"
Oh, it's. She just sort of like touches her necklace just to kind of draw attention to it. It's always like this. A bit of a fashion choice, if you will.
Avalon, I'm going to make you hit the books.
She's gonna say, "No, I've got enough to remember already." She looks at her 5 fingers and says, "Goodbye. I love you." Storms off.
I don't think I like her.
I don't blame you.
I would love to apologize on her behalf. I will make her hit the books and teach her how to not say her intrusive thoughts.
Thank you. Although I would be lying if I said I couldn't relate a little bit.
You guys are a party of problematic.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem party.
Yeah. Billy did not behave well at the party either. I mean, honestly, actually, that was actually pretty good for Billy. Billy was holding it relatively well together yesterday. Out of curiosity, are we finishing up soon? Or are we doing another hour?
What is our
Or
time?
half hour? I mean, it's
Oh yeah,
it's
we've got another hour of session.
oh, gotcha. I couldn't remember if it was like 2 hours or 3 hours.
We go for about 3-ish hours.
Gotcha.
Yeah, or we have a cool ending point. All right. So the party has an option. You got a bunch of leads to investigate. As a dungeon master, my advice is taking one storyline at a time, and we will get through, hopefully and eventually, all of these. That said, there is a ton of stuff this sage was invested into. We've got 5 different options. Does anyone... I know Sable feels strongly about the 3rd. Does anyone else have any strong feelings?
I don't really have any strong feelings, no.
I'm kind of interested in the assassin lead because I feel like that has a more of a time limit because of the fact that he was taken by an assassin.
Okay. So, do you, either of you have any ideas on how you want to start investigating this? And I can help point in directions, and then we can probably blend these two.
Um,
Or I guess I can give you more info. I think if you want to learn about Lethalia, she is very well connected to the other nobles in the country. A lot of nobles look up to her. Trying to ask about her from other nobles would be very effective ways of getting info. And if you want to find assassins in the country, as players, because you have Anthem in the party, and I guess Billy too, you both are aware that Ardorian assassins have to be at the complete top of their game. This is the hardest place in the world to just flat out kill people. So they need every advantage they can get, and that also comes with concealing their identity. Specifically in Ardor Serai, there's not an assassin's guild, but there is an accepted practice of the trade that's near universal. They all take jobs from different contractors, and those contractors are the only people they talk to. So you know one contractor, Moa. You can find some more contractors if you want. But trying to get a contractor to lead you to one of the assassins or deliver a message could also help with that.
But the real question is why they would give up their contractor.
Well, I think I can offer you all a middle ground between two of these ideas. The more I think on this, I think talking to Billy's sister, Kylissa, gives you the opportunity to get information about Lethalia and could potentially lead you to some contractors to hire or at least talk to.
Yeah, I mean, Billy says the only person I think I can speak to help us with this would be my sister. If any of you guys mind paying her a visit.
it's worth a shot.
Unless, Anthem, you have any ideas you want to pursue.
That would probably be the safest route to go.
All right.
All right. The decision is to go talk to the tolls.
Yeah. Don't talk to my Bishwa sister.
All right. So the tolls actually have a whole ass estate, about a half a day's ride, outside of the city. They do have a smaller residence inside the city that it's pretty much a gamble if anyone's going to be there. But if your sister was preparing to go back essentially to home, she would be in that smaller residence in the town in Somia. And essentially home for her right now is Somar Villa, which is a half a day's ride south of the capital.
I think I would. Where am I confident that I would probably find her? 'Cause she would have told me, I think, last where she was at.
So I feel like for Billy, whatever meeting she had to attend last night went late into the night, and lots of heirs and heads of noble families were there.
Yeah.
So probably didn't want to do a 8-hour ride at midnight to just go sleep
Yeah.
in her own bed. So I would say Billy probably thinks if she hurries, you can catch her caravan leaving town. It's not like
right.
Kylissa would wait on you.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I tell everyone else, I think we can just catch her before she's on her way out of town.
Could we take the horses?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Those
Should we
are
head
the
out?
sage's horses.
Oh,
The
please.
sage isn't here. Like,
The
Yeah, he's
sage
not gonna miss
isn't here.
Still
And
gonna
if you
miss
know,
I have my own people I can get, right?
yeah, somebody does own a horse in the party. I think it's Sable.
I do.
Yeah.
I think the horse's back would break if they tried like transporting
Wait,
everybody.
we could get a carriage, right?
If you ask Listella for one of the sage's horses, I think she would be hesitant, unless Sable was asking, upon which she would capitulate and give you all. She'll give you 2 horses to pull a carriage.
Right?
The question is, does the sage own a carriage, or does he hire a porter on behalf of the chantry? There is a carriage here. The stable hand's gonna look. Oh, did the stable hand come into work today? Yes, the horses need to be fed. Yeah, the stable hand will look and say, "Oh, that old thing? Okay." It takes him a few minutes to get the horses attached to it. And I will say the 4 of you can fit inside of the carriage. Ivana will have a word of where you went, but she is in her morning prayers and meditating on the tough decisions her spirit had to make last night. All right. Does Sable take her own horse?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Sable, did you ever think of a description of your horse? Because I will ask you to describe it to the party, and if not, I will. Oh, there's a picture. Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's an image.
Yeah, because the very prominent thing about Sable's horse is it is smoking. Like, near all the time. Yeah. You all can ride to the southern district of Somia. And this is basically one of the outer neighborhoods a lot of noble families keep residence in as they travel into and out of the capital. Let me roll some stuff, and I'm going to give you guys some extra information. Billy, give me a history check, DC 11.
Okay. That's a pretty horse. Sorry, I just saw. Alright, history check, you said?
Yep.
Alright. Where's history? I really should have made myself proficient in history. Wow, okay!
Oh, beautiful.
Who needs proficiency?
Okay, I am going to give you additional information. And these are
Yeah.
for your notes. So if you want to record these, you can. Otherwise, I will try and put them in my end of session DM notes so I can remind you in the future. Lennox warned you where to watch in Maiden's Watch for your X, Lilfear. So the red X is the Magnate's Falcon. As you cross the Maiden's Watch bridge, the purple X in Maiden's Watch There is a Ruby Alliance vault. Your father hates it, and he talks about it all the time. It is called the Sleeping Snake. A vast amount of riches are stored there, and a lot of merchants come to do business. And then I will give you... You killed this, so I'm giving you a lot of information. Crossing Somia Bridge at the second purple X is a orphanage called the Listener's Pond. You are aware this orphanage is sponsored by your family, and a lot of the orphans here are eyes and ears for blackmail of nobles in Somia. It is a place of information and of welcome for you. And also, if you want a child, I guess that too. And then the final one...
No, they're not as good. They're not as useful when they're not orphans.
Anthem, go ahead.
That's what my dad always tells me.
Anthem, go ahead and give me a history check too. And I'm gonna set this DC at 11 also for you. And I'll give Chloe and you the final bit of information if it's relevant. Alright. And final one for both of you at the... let's go with dark blue. Heading into the road through Somia. There is a outside of the Surreal Keep. There is a sage's library. This one is sponsored by the Nakarts. So there's the main sage in the city, like Alshandoris, that's appointed, and then a lot of noble families will just like pay as like goodwill charity to open smaller libraries for people around the city. One of those libraries is here at that blue X. It is ran by a sage named Nerinius, and you are aware that the Nakarts personally fund this library, both you and Anthem. You're also aware that Nerinius's allegiances are more so to the Nakarts than to the chantry that he serves.
Gotcha.
And that's just carriage ride. You've been into the city a dozen times before, possibly even 100 times before. You've seen these locations, you've heard your sister talk about them, or your dad, or, something of that effect. Otherwise, you're heading to the Tolls estate. This is going to be on the far edge of town. And if you all travel with some haste, you are able to get there with, I will roll a d4 minus 1. You are able to get there with 1 hour remaining before Tylissa departs. Her carriage is being prepared in the front of this smaller house. I would say that this is like a pleasant cottage, like repurpose to just be like an away condo for whatever Tolls members are doing business inside the city. Small enough to be ran by, 2 or 3 servants, and maybe just 2 or 3 sleeping rooms inside of it and a place to eat. Maybe 1 room for business. Stepping inside, you can see that Kylissa is, I would say she's lounging right now, waiting for the preparations to finish on her carriage before she leaves. And I think she's got a morning glass of wine. Billy, Anthem, and Amaru, and Sable are able to show up. The Toll's guard will let Billy in, presuming that you all are with her. As you step in, Billy, your sister is going to say, "Ah, so the dog found its way home. I was almost fearing you weren't going to make it."
Well, how did your extremely fun meetings go last night?
The Nakart sent 30,000 troops to bolster Westwind.
Wow.
30,000
My God.
against
Wow.
against the magnate's orders.
That sounds like a headache.
Damn near treason.
Yeah.
I'd be angry if I wasn't so honestly impressed.
I ran into my ex while I was there. That was kind of fun.
Oh, she's lovely. I always liked her more than you.
You bitch.
I think Kylissa will inspect you a little bit. How do you look?
I
when
look
you come
tired. I don't think I slept super well.
in? I think Kylissa would speak up and say, you know, there's a place in the Palace District I've wanted to eat at that I haven't had time the past couple days. If you wanted to connect with her, I could probably, she shrugs and says, linger about a little bit before going back to Somar Villa. You seem
Do you
bright
think that's a
with
good
her.
idea? Do you think it's a good idea, though? I mean, you
Kylissa's
know
gonna
how that relationship went.
Kylissa's gonna shake her head and say, "Fuck, fine, whatever. I don't care. I just wanted to eat at the place, and if you..."
All right, let's go eat at the place. Let's go eat at the place.
No, I'm leaving. I'm going south to Somar Villa. I have chefs at our
No.
estate. Amphitheater will get them.
Oh, don't be that way. Come on, Kylissa.
Are you trying to seriously persuade her to go out to eat?
I mean, honestly, I think Billy at this point is mostly just doing it for the gag.
Okay, fair enough. At which point she'll say, "You made a bunch of friends last night. What do you all want? Why are you here with us? Are they bothering you?"
Nah, we actually had some questions. I think, so there's somebody who's kind of been assassinating people, killing people. I know it's kind of normal for us, but we're trying to, this is assassination that maybe we don't want a part of. And so we're kind of trying to stop it. And I relay what we know.
Kylissa, so wait, you tell her everything that you know? Do you tell her about the
I don't think I give her too much specifics. I think on the way over here I would have discussed with everyone. So what do you guys think? I would have checked with you guys before we got and met her. How much would you guys have approved, Billy saying?
Everything
trust
but
her
the
enough?
book.
Everything but the book. I mean, she's my sister. I mean, she sucks, but I kind of trust her.
Yeah, everything but the book.
Alright, so I say everything but the bark.
Okay. And the assassination you're talking about is who's after the sage?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Would Billy know, or would I have to give up the names?
Yeah, if I probably would I would allow Anthem to also pipe in.
Well, I feel like there's two different assassinations being discussed. So I think what Billy is bringing up is you're trying to prevent whoever took the sage from killing him, is what it sounded like to me.
Right.
Okay, and I
Right.
think Anthem and the rest of the party is talking about the list that Kylissa gave you at the
Okay.
start, which Kylissa had Anthem hire an assassin. So you can ask about both, because she has information about both. But I'm going to answer Billy's question first, because she was the one talking to her, and anyone else is welcome to. Kylissa gets a special check that I've never given to another NPC. A how much do I love my sister check? Which at this moment it's decently high. And she's going to speak up and say, I don't know who's after the sage. At least no one in our network sent that one out. I heard that he went missing this morning. But by all accounts, he was a good man, so I feel like now, more than ever, the city needs him.
Did Billy give the names of the assassin, or would she not have that information?
The name of the person who took the sage?
Yes.
No, you're aware. It's Kadam.
Oh yeah, I was just making sure because I was the one who rolled for it, and I don't know if, anyone else.
Oh, yeah. If you didn't
Yeah.
share it with the party, then she doesn't know it to give. So no, I'm sorry. I heard, did Billy give her the name? And my brain said, is Anthem asking if she can give the name? Yeah, Anthem can give the name.
Okay,
Yeah, Anthem is welcome to welcome to pipe up at any point to say stuff.
Yeah, one of the benefits Anthem or Phoenix to rolling up a character who's dating a heir to a noble family or is engaged to one, you get lots of cool contacts. One of the drawbacks is a lot of people know you, as Kylissa does know exactly who you are.
Oh yeah, everybody, like every single person that she's like Anthem's encounters, like, aren't you supposed to be like connected at the hip to like have? I'm like, and she's just like, yeah. But yeah, she does give the names of let me see, Kadam and Nyla Moonfall. And if like she knows.
Kylissa is going to say, I know the name Nyla. She was a Nazaram soldier. As my dad said that, our dad said that she kills, but only small people over petty grudges. A sage? She shakes her head. It's a nightmare trying to get her to accept any of our contracts.
Do you have any information on Kadam?
She is going to nod and say, If you're looking for someone, I can hire someone in the network to reach out to her. I fear if I send you there, I'd be sending you into your death.
That works. How many days do you think it would take to discover?
Kylissa is going to shake her head and say, no one gets anything out of the network without putting something in. Two more jobs. No questions asked? Seem fair?
Not a favor to your sister, I see.
My sister's not asking me.
Do you think you could
Shut up!
just... Come on, Kyleza.
Billy, roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh shit, with advantage. All right. She likes me. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. Wait, no, it's perception. Oh yeah, I forgot I have a -1. It's one more. That wasn't too bad. There we go. 11.
Alright, I have to roll the how much does she love you check. Right now.
What is the die for that?
It's flat D20 roll. It's a skill check. Love is something
Am
learned
I-
sometimes.
I guess I can't really use fortune at all to help me.
You can use misfortune if you want to reroll one of those. I think a reroll is 50.
Oh, I don't have a lot, so no.
You can add 50 misfortune if you want to, but otherwise.
I'm gonna have faith in my sister, I think.
Should I use Chronal Shift for this?
Reroll.
Just how desperate am I to get out of...
Fabric
to make her love her sister more, like...
I will let you decide that before I tell you the results.
Yeah, do you want me to reroll?
You know what? Screw it. Maybe she loves you more now.
So no reroll?
No, I did. One Chronal Shift, so you can reroll.
Okay, alright. Persuasion.
Oh, no.
Even worse.
Yeah, so it's gonna be the 11.
Yeah. How did it get worse every time?
Yeah, it did. It really did. Also, it passed.
Honestly, the 11 was a pretty good roll for a -1. Not that it matters.
Kylissa is going to turn to Billy and say, apologize to Lilfear. I liked her.
Why do I have to apologize to her?
You broke up with her.
Yeah, because she was... I broke up with her because of how she treated me. If she comes to terms with that, then maybe I'll apologize.
I think this very private discussion gets very public. It's like Kylissa turns her back and is going to say, you were the one looking for something serious when she wasn't. Just gotta give her space on these things.
Alright. I'll consider it.
You'll consider
That's as much as you'll get from
like
me
a-
right now. I'm sorry.
Like a single thought gets through that thick head with all your other ideas of tinkering and whatever bridge you're thinking. Fine, I'll do it. She turns
Thank you,
around
Kylissa.
and says, I'll reach out to somebody and send them. Well, you know what? Give me a fortune check, Anthem.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm scared.
Ooh, I don't
you
have
wanna
much.
D100, and you want to roll within 16.
Oh,
That is it. You are within your fortune range. Kylissa is going to say, "Fine, I'll send somebody to search Ursa." And as she says the word, look goes over her mouth. I'll send somebody to find Kadum.
Thank you, Kylisa.
She's gonna nod and say, "Do I need to wait on you to come home today?"
I think we might be. I think we might be busy.
She's gonna nod and say, "We're taking less stuff back in the carriage. We don't need our third horse. I'm gonna leave it at the estate.
Oh, thank you.
It's not for you."
Who's it
She's
for?
gonna go back to drinking her morning wine.
All right, always a pleasure.
That's half of what you guys came to see her about. The other half you
Wait, was
were
there more? I
looking
can't
for
remember.
info on Lethelia Nakart.
Oh.
I mean, you got a little bit of info with the troops the lady's moving around the country. Does anybody want to ask anything else before you go? I don't think you'll be able to eke out any favors from Kylissa, but she still might know things.
Yeah.
I think I might just ask what she knows about her. Just generally.
She is going to speak up and say, Lethelia only communicates through her little hound. She sends after people. Anadelia Surreal. As far as that, Dad and I have yet to, our Dad has yet to bring me to a meeting with her. Dad's met her once or twice before. But pretty much, unfortunately, the same as everybody else. She throws a ball in her estate every 9th day open to the public. I plan on being in attendance. Most of the more prominent noble families are. Billy's been once or twice.
They're all right.
She's going to ask Sable, what's your interest in her? You trying to become Soulsworn?
No. I don't plan to. But I guess I should say I have business with her that he's attending to.
You're a friend of my sister's?
Yeah? I call us friends?
If you find yourself in Somar Villa, look for Amphitheater Louse. If you do some work with my family, maybe we could set something up.
How do I spell that?
Amphitheater Louse. Oh wait, Looraoos. He is the head steward of the Tolls estate in Somar Villa. Somar Villa is the big city of nobles, just a day's ride south from the capital.
Gotcha. Okay. But what was the name for the other person? The one that works for Lady Nakart?
Oh, Lady Anna Delia Surreal, and I'm spelling that out right now. If you want any information on her, you're welcome to roll a history check, or you can go look for her.
I'll make a history check.
Okay. You actually passed her keep coming here. You could have seen it with her family banners and stuff wavering from it. Oh my goodness gracious. Beautiful.
That's funny.
Well, that's a storyline, Nat 20, because Sable, you've actually met with many surreals before. They run a ranch in the Darken Vale, and it's actually where you got your horse from.
Oh,
Creatures raised in the Darken Vale become incredibly magical and altered from what they did to the land, which is why your horse is always smoking. The surreals specialize in animal husbandry. They ranch animals out in the Vale and then transport them to Ardor and sell them. That said, I'm going to give you additional info. Let me find. I know I have her portrait. Here we go. You are. Oh, share to all players. There we go. All right. You are also aware that Lady Anadelia has a lot of stuff here. One, her close connections with the Nakarts. Two, she has just married the current heir to the Renopal family, which has shifted up the entire power dynamics in Ardor Serai, as she is already one of the head of one of the 5 biggest noble families, is close allies with one of the most powerful families, and now has married the heir to another one. This woman is quickly becoming one of the most important people within the country. A little bit of extra info just for that storyline crit. You are also aware that wherever powerful people are, not far off, there is a surreal supporting them. The surreals either align themselves with power, or they have a lot of information, and likely leaning to the latter, that they collect and sell information. I think Avalon told you earlier that Anadelia damn near knows everything.
okay. Okay.
But yeah, power dynamics are shifting in the country. So do you all want to do anything from here?
Anthem pokes Billy and just whispers Vellum list.
Wait, what?
Vellum list, the kill list that your sister passed. Wait, that one of your sister's guards passed to me.
Oh, I kind of forgot about that.
There's a lot of stuff going on, and
There's so much stuff
understandable.
going on. Do you want me to ask Kylissa about that?
Yes.
Wait, I'm sorry, out of character, there's so much stuff going on. Remind me what I should be asking about with that.
What in the world is going on with that? Like, who's being targeted? Why? All
Alright,
that
Kylissa,
stuff.
one more thing. What's the deal with that? The kill list? I like whisper it.
Um, even if you whisper it, I mean, she's gonna say, your friends already know.
I don't want everybody. I don't know how many people are listening in on us. I don't know.
Your estate is generally secure. Some of your estates are warded
Oh,
from
I
outside
see.
ears and outside divination, but whether this one is or isn't, I don't think Billy would know.
Oh, okay,
Tylissa
okay.
is going to go on and say, Dad's found a new revenue stream.
Yeah?
Someone is getting money past the border.
Okay.
Easy jobs. They don't even care if we kill them. We get names, we find a contractor to take care of it, we pass it off. If some people get knocked off the list, great. If the contractor or the assassin gets caught, doesn't matter to us. We get paid in ruby pieces regardless.
Okay. Fair enough.
Ruby pieces.
She's gonna nod
Yeah.
and say, it's coming through the Alliance, but it's not the Shadow. The Ruby Alliance.
Got it.
The Ruby Alliance wants more favorable trade, I suppose.
She's going to shake her head and say, I don't know who wants what. They're using a dead woman's name on all their communications.
Whose name?
You saw it on the Volt contract, but she will
Mole?
repeat it. The Volt contract.
Yeah, but wasn't
She
that
will repeat
Mole?
it and say,
Okay.
Elena Ladelia.
Wait. Related to Nadelia Nakard in any way, or just...
No. If you...
Ooh.
Do you, ask, Kylissa, or do you want to roll a history check on it? Kylissa told you that the lady's dead, so presumably she knows who she is. Oh, you know what? Amaru, you get a free history check on this. I'm gonna put the DC at DC 8. And scaling information in tiers of 5.
Alright.
Oof!
I just
Oh,
kind of
no!
Name sounds familiar to Amaru, but he can't place it. Do you want to ask Kylissa, or leave
Does
it
it
be?
seem like she's going to like hold another favor over me if I ask, like, or
I don't know. There's only one way to see.
I'll roll the history check if she can't figure. Okay.
You are... Yeah, you're loosely aware of, Elena. She is, or she was, the Master of Standards, the guy who runs the entire international global Ruby Alliance. She was his daughter. Went across the border to study magic in Alil Nagai, got exiled from the university, came back to Ardor Sarai, and got killed on a trip into the northern mountains. It was very sad.
Accidents do seem to happen a lot, don't they? She's being sarcastic. heavily sarcastic.
Kylissa is gonna say, Leodine lives in Hellenis. not too far from our family. Dad and I were over there every week after her death. He was torn up over it. Anyways, when we started getting contracts with her name on it, it's from somebody who wants to keep their identity a secret.
Was her body ever found?
Kylissa is going to say, I don't know. From what I understand, it was a sun serventer. She was traveling up north, was attacked by bandits on the road near the Flame Gate, and whatever was left of that, the carriage she was in was buried under an avalanche, and the people in bodies with it.
So nobody found her body.
She shakes her head, and I'll roll her one last check how much she knows about this. She's gonna say Leodine wanted us to find if the bandits came through our network. One of them got caught, but when Dad investigated, it wasn't anything to do with us. As far as I know, they were marauders, killers. I don't think anyone made it out of that attack.
What if she did?
She's the daughter of the richest man in the world. Why would she fake her death? She has everything except for the ability to travel into Lil Nagai. But the rest of the world... I don't see what she stands to gain.
Freedom. Eyes off of her. I assure you that there were most likely people after her. Being the daughter of quite literally the richest man in the world.
I will roll Kylissa a check if she ever met. And Billy, you're entitled to the same check if you want.
Sure. What check was it?
If you ever met well, you know what? I'm gonna just roll this passively for you. If you ever met Elena while she was alive.
Gotcha.
And you and Kylissa both ran into her at one of the Nacart balls, and talked to her. She was an incredibly oddball. But on top of that, she was a magical genius, a prodigy. It was kind of a crime to be rich and so intelligent. What was Anthem's question? There was a reason why I was rolling this.
I forgot something.
That's fair.
About...
Kylissa will shake. Oh, I remember why I was rolling this. She was a savant at conjuration and evocation magic, and practically redefined it. And as Billy and Kylissa are remembering this, Kylissa is going to say, if there's anybody after or if there was anybody after her, in a fair fight, she would have blasted them apart.
So why did she lose to a bunch of roadside bandits?
Kylissa is going to shrug and say, I don't know. We didn't do it. It was an ambush and an avalanche. Acts of the gods you can't predict. But, Kylissa will say, I can look into, whoever's using her vault, but if she faked her name or faked her death, do you think she's dumb enough to use her own name and her own money?
Well, obviously you didn't believe that she was still alive.
Kylissa bites her lip. And she's gonna say, Billy, I don't like your friends as much as I don't like you. Is that all you have today? You've given me much.
Yeah, sorry about that,
too much to
Kylissa.
do.
I appreciate the help you gave us. Thanks, sis.
She's gonna nod. And a bit of concern as she bites her lip and says, you know, I've got an extra guard too. Do you want to give them something to do today?
I wouldn't mind that.
I actually have never named who her personal steward is. So
Oh.
she will turn to whoever her attendant is and say, have one of the caravan
Theodore.
follow them around today. Theodore?
Yeah, that's the first day that came to my
Theodore?
mind.
Okay, she'll turn to Theodore and say, have she'll turn to Theodore and say, have one of the caravan guards follow her around. Dad would be upset if she got stabbed in the city without me.
Thanks, Kylissa.
I think very begrudgingly, she'll say, you're welcome.
She basically just said, "I love you."
As,
That's her in her language.
As you all are finishing up, she's going to get up and bundle up for the journey and head outside and into the carriage.
Okay.
All right. You all have unfortunately a ton of information. I should have thought about that before I combined two storylines into one, but hey, screw that. We're going now.
I hope somebody's keeping track of this better than I am, because
Yeah.
I've got stuff.
I have
50%
some
of it.
notes, yeah, I have been writing some
So
notes down.
you learned where to find a assassin at. You also learned that the assassins are being hired through the pseudonym questionable, or maybe potentially question mark name Elena Ladelia. If you want to double check on any of those, Billy, you do know I did point out where a Ruby Alliance vault is.
Yeah.
That would be the type of currency she's spending. She's not spending gold pieces.
Right.
These contracts are coming through ruby pieces. Then you also know where to find Kadam, and you are, if you want to investigate Lethalia anymore, you know that she will be at her estate holding a ball on 9th day.
Gotcha.
I think we have time for maybe a direction. and maybe if the party wants to talk and share any ideas.
I'm up for whatever everybody else is thinking. I'm
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, you've
What?
you also accepted a quest. Apologize to your ex.
Wait, if I I
Side quest
begrudgingly
optional.
was. Billy, by the way, this whole time, this is such a like, classic, like, talking to sisters thing of, like, I'm not going to fight with you about this. But if Billy said, Billy's like, so what if she didn't think that it was a serious relationship? I thought it was. Why should I apologize?
Secret quest acquired. Secret quest acquired. Steal Billy's ex.
Yes.
Oh yeah, wait, was
Is
was
that
she
Amaru's
genuine?
new quest? Oh, I
New
keep
quest,
a
at
list
least
of ongoing
look at them.
quests, so there we go. Billy apologize to X, Amaru steal X.
Oh yeah, wait, was her flirting with, like, sort of flirting with Anthem? Was that genuine or just to get close to get the Valium papers?
I'll let you roll an intelligence check on it. Insight.
Insight? Okay.
Yeah, using intelligence. Because I think insight's passively wisdom.
Wait, so wait, intelligence or wisdom or?
So it is a insight check, so you have proficiency in insight?
Yes.
Okay, so it's gonna be so you rolled a 7 plus 2, 9, and then you're adding your intelligence modifier instead of your wisdom.
Okay, so it's 12.
Okay. Yeah, you can think on the moment with Lilfear. What you know about her in hindsight, she's a spy. And you are a very prominent mark for information. You can probably assume her flirting was not genuine with you.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, don't fall for her tricks, damn it.
Unfortunately, you cannot start the quest Steal Billy's Ex also. You can wait and start the quest Steal Amaru's Ex in like 5 sessions.
Wait, what?
I kid. But yeah, how about you all, as characters, if you want to talk and share any ideas on like your course of action, you can. But before you do, give me a direction on where you guys want to head for next session. And I can
Go with
provide
whatever you guys want.
information or suggestions too.
Good discussion, everyone. Great.
I'm
great.
consulting the notes. The really
I
terribly
just-
written notes.
I don't want to feel like I'm, like, overtaking conversation too much, so,
I
like...
truly don't know. I'm good with whatever you guys want to do.
Random choice paralysis.
Okay,
Choice
I
paralysis?
Literally,
do have a
literally.
suggestion. I just, like, wanted to see what other people thought, but okay,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So I feel like since the assassin thing is more of a, a time constraint because we don't know if, like, Sage is dead or alive, that we deal with that one first, and that lead. The other ones are less of a time constraint.
So are we trying to save the sage? Because it doesn't really seem worth saving.
Alright, we just throw them to the wolves. Yeah, I'm alright with that, like...
That was whatever.
The second one would probably be whatever Lady Nadelia is up to.
Yeah, and to get to her, we need to see Anadelia. So,
You are aware that the lot of you essentially weirdest party ever essentially have a free pass to go meet and speak with Anadelia. Anthem is dating Anadelia's wife's sister. They are future sisters-in-law? Question mark.
Why not do that then?
Alright. Wait, would I run into Avalon then again?
Yes. She told you she
Oh,
was
no.
gonna head there. She can be
Alright.
on a good behavior, probably. Is that our
Yeah,
Guardian
no, we're
friend?
checking up
Yeah,
on her.
not
Yeah,
being a
no,
problematic
we're
person.
checking up on her. She's. Yeah, no.
Okay. As you all are walking, or not walking, heading out to your carriage, you are going to, you know, I'm gonna evens odds.
Be attacked.
Die. Just drop dead.
Die in an avalanche after a bandit attack and have our names
Definitely.
used for transactions.
We get smited by God.
You're going to see a woman on a soapbox, and she is going to say, so yes, as flames burn bright in all of us. It is not your calling to be disciplined with them. It's your calling to spread them to the world, to let your passion burn, to let your passion ignite, Arter Sarai. They tried to smolder our flames last month, but we will show them that the chantry of discipline is built upon stones of lies. That is why Soyesa doesn't spend her time in this country. She spends her time cutting down the evils of the world, and that's what she calls each and every one of us to. There are several people gathering around to listen to this lady. She has a symbol of Soyesa and the Four Ascended behind her, and it is unfortunately painted over, essentially vandalized with a emblem of a flame on it. She's going to say, talk with any of my sisters or any of my brethren. The Heart of Embers welcomes you to our hearth. There are two people with her talking to people that are forming in the small crowd.
This is the
cult.
the zealot Darenthal, like the branch, right?
No, you don't know what this is.
Huh? Oh.
Well, I mean, it's not Darenthal. They're definitely worshiping a Four Ascended.
Oh.
Yeah, Sable, this is pretty fair to assess as a cult.
Mm-hmm. Cult-like? Public speeches.
Sounds like
It's a
it.
cult.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to get into this kind of thing again.
Again?
Again?
As you all get in your carriage and mount your horses, she's going to call to you and say, the nobles might look down on us, but soon you'll join our flames. Many already have. Scoff and turn your noses up. For as long as you can bear the heat.
Which nobles?
You call back to her.
Yeah.
She's gonna say, you can join if you want and find out, but that information right now is on a need-to-know basis.
This is like just being yelled back and forth as the carriage moves away. Like...
Man, I wanted to end on my cool one-liner, and you had to make fun of her. How about we end there for the session? Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You shouldn't have made her so easy to make fun of.
She's a Polish fanatic. They
Yeah,
just
she's
are
still-
easy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Anthem's still gonna yell like back, like, show your receipt. Like,
Mhm.
not just being supported. Like,
All right.
like who's backing you?
So I'm gonna give you all a milestone. I think that's our second one. So let's see. 1 milestone, and I think that puts you all at 2 milestones. At 3, we level up.
Wait, did you
Hey.
say that we were at 2 last time?
I don't remember.
Or no?
In my notes, I didn't record any milestones, but I do know that fighting off the sage was pretty big. You know what? I'm just gonna move you to 3 milestones. I make the rules, yeah. Okay. But no, I am gonna move you guys to 3 milestones. So go ahead and level up to 4. I think our important notes for this session. Somebody is using a dead lady's name to hire a bunch of assassins, and you all have a bead that I mean, potentially she might not be dead. And then there was something else I wanted to give you experience for. That was 1, the assassins. Oh, 2, the storyline crit and deciding to go talk to Anadelia, and also meeting the Heart of Embers poultice. So I'm gonna move you all to 3 and level up to 4. If you need help leveling up, contact either me, Insomni, or Rob before next session, and we'll figure out a time to sit down and help.
Wait, we're leveling up?
Yep. 4.
Yay! Woo!
And yeah, our next session will be on our actually scheduled session date, which would be the 15th. So we'll meet on June 15th at our normal time, and hopefully I won't need to cancel that for anything. Fingers crossed. And thank you for watching. If you're in the Twitch chat, you're welcome to hang out with us. Have a great night.